What up, world? It's your boy JusRzd. You already know why I'm here. Episode 7, X-Men 97. What we talking about? Let's get into it. Do me a favor. Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. Anyway, we on YouTube now. What are you doing? Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your boy JusRzd. Episode 7, X-Men 97. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Welcome back to the channel, but spoiler freaking warning. We're going to talk about this episode. Episode 7. Freaking phenomenal. Episode 7 was dope. It starts out, episode 7, of course, somber moods. The funeral for Gambit. All the X-Men are distraught. Tears are being shed left and right. Yeah, it was just a sad moment. It was a really sad moment. But funeral happened. Jubilee, of course, being Jubilee, being 18, being young, not understanding, is wondering why Rogue didn't show up to the funeral. Being the person that Remy, aka Gambit, loved the most. And she loved him, and she didn't show up for the funeral. But we all know grief can attack people in several different ways. And sometimes funerals can be very difficult, especially when you were deeply in love with the person that died. It's just a lot to process. And Jubilee's 18, so I get it. She don't really understand how all that's set up. Nightcrawler delivered a dope eulogy. But yeah, so it cuts away once the X-Men kind of console and comfort one another, and Wolverine and Nightcrawler talk to Jubilee. And they're just like, yeah, I mean, she's battling just like everybody else is battling, but she's not only... Nightcrawler was kicking game, because he was like, not only is she dealing with the loss of the love of her life, but she's also dealing with having to see a genocide firsthand. Like, she was right there watching all the people perish. That's a lot to deal with. It transitions to Rogue going rogue and going ham, looking for the man they interrogated. I can't remember his name because I never really liked his character, but the man they interrogated in the beginning of X-Men 97, looking for Oliver Trask. So they're looking for him. She pulls up to the military facility where he's supposedly being held, and we see a cameo from good old Thunderbolt Ross. That was dope. He was talking big trash. He was like, man, this facility is built to hold a Hulk. What's she finna do? She finna be Rogue and pull up in your face and be like, yo, where Buddy at? You know why I'm here. He was like, man, I don't know where he at. I mean, he left. He's like, all right, bet. I'm gonna go find him. So then Rogue is going from facility to facility to try to figure out where in the world is this man. So then we switch back. We see the X-Men pull up to Genosha to help search for survivors, to help with the medical staff, to help with the recovery from the genocide, and help rebuild and help see if they can save anybody else, or if there's any more survivors. Scott was talking to the president to try to see if they could get any more help or resources from the UN, and of course the president's like, I mean, it's kind of tough times. We humans, y'all are mutants. We can't really offer no more help to you, because that's gonna be bad optics. It's not gonna look good politically. And it's just like, man, at the end of the day, they are mutants, but they're people at the end of the day, man, and they're hurting. They just got attacked, and nobody knows from who, but now everybody's scared because they feel like the mutants are gonna retaliate, and it's going to start a war. So I thought that discourse and dialogue was actually kind of dope. It just kind of showed where everybody was at. They end up, when the X-Men pulled up in Genosha, the TV reporter lady ends up pulling up too. She interviews Beast. Beast was dropping bars on her left and right, because he was pissed, as he should be. It's like, chill out. Like, Shorty need to take several seats. She need to take several seats back. It was dope, though, to see that Cyclops and Jean are finally starting to mend their relationship, and they're finally starting to talk about the different things. Jean is starting to kind of realize that, I mean, you can't really get mad at Scott like that. Like, at the end of the day, that's the mother of his child. He just lost his child. Now he lost the mother of his child in the whole genocide, and it's just like, man, they were both grieving together. Like, so it was dope to see them trying to mend their relationship. They end up finding a mutant survivor, which turns out to be Emma Frost with a new mutation in her mutant ability. Not only is she telekinetic, but now she has unlocked her diamond form, which was a dope Easter egg. And this is actually how she got her diamond form in the comics. So that was dope to see that illustrated in episode 7. Then we switch back to Rogue. She's still going rogue, still trying to look for this guy. She pulls up on this log cabin in the mountains, and then lo and behold, we see the good old boy Captain America's shield come out of nowhere. And he's like, Rogue, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. You gotta stop. You gotta chill out. Let us help you handle this. I'm looking for this dude too. Let us help you the best way that we can. And because it's not a good look for you to go around just tearing up everything. And Rogue is just like, forget all that. I'm trying to find this dude. I need to see him one-on-one. We need to go right now. And Cap is just like, man, look, we're grieving with y'all, and I want to help. And Rogue listed out the things he could do to assist him. And he was just like, I want to help, but I can't do what you're asking me to do. But I can offer a little bit of my assistance. And she was like, well, look, if you can't do what I'm asking you to do, I'm literally telling you what I need, what you can help me with, and you're not offering no assistance. So I'm going to take this shield, because clearly you don't need it if you're not going to come with me. Throws the shield in the mountains. So now he's going to spend a while trying to find that shield, because not like he can fly. I just thought that was funny. Then she ends up flying away. She ends up coming to this compound and finding the dude that she was looking for. And of course he was expecting her, because the bad guys always are expecting that for the most part. But it seems like the bad guys have been like one step ahead, just low key a little bit. So anyway, she finds him. She threatens his life, and was just like, yo, where's Oliver Trask? He was like, man, I don't know. I have no idea. You can't interrogate me. You can't go into my mind and figure it out. The same trick y'all used before, it's not gonna work this time. She was like, man, forget all that. I ain't here for the games. Takes the glove off and touches his head, and just gains all of his memories and all of his information, to the point where she passes out, because she's been running herself ragged, but she takes out so much of his information that she ends up passing out and hospitalizing him. Then when then it cuts back to Genosha, where the X-Men had just rescued Emma Frost, and Beast is helping with the injured and fussing at the lady, the TV reporter. And then they're told, hey, it's an emergency in the X-Jet. So they go to the X-Jet. It's Oliver Trask on the screen communicating with them like, hey, meet me at this spot. I'll tell y'all everything. But Sinister is behind it all. But I'll tell y'all everything if y'all just meet me at this spot as soon as possible. So they was like, all right, we'll meet you at the spot. They all looked at each other like, this is probably going to be a trap. But we know it's probably going to be a trap. So let's just go ahead and see what he's talking about. And then from what he's talking about, we're going to go ahead and handle things accordingly. So they end up pulling up, and we find Rogue in an alley, passed out. She's waking up, and of course her adopted brother Nightcrawler is there to comfort her. And they're at like this. It looks like she's somewhere in Mexico, because there's like a Day of the Dead celebration, and of course that just allows all the memories to come back of Gambit and what happened. And so of course she hugs her brother and just bawls her eyes out. He's gone. It was emotional. I ain't gonna hold you. That joint hit the heartstrings. It was emotional, but she ends up turning around, seeing the rest of the team had pulled up on her, and they came and got her. They go to the facility that Trask. Was directing them to, and when they get there, Trask said, "Don't worry about the people there. I'll take care of it." I mean, he pumped sleeping gas through the facility, so everybody's knocked out when they get there. They get there, they go to the hidden lab that he told them where to go, and then they see all this new technology, all these tanks, and by tanks I mean like not necessarily fish tanks, but tanks with like technology, or like you see all these tanks with these different robots and stuff like that in them, and just different scientific pieces and scientific technology being worked on in the backgrounds, and they're just kind of looking through it, and it's like, yo, what's up with all this technology? We don't even have some of this stuff yet. What is happening? Like, where did they get in all this stuff? And Morph, of course, points out, hey, we might want to ask Buddy over there that's about to jump off the ledge. And lo and behold, who's about to jump off the ledge? Oliver Trask. And so, of course, he's seeming super desperate, just saying he wants to end it all. He's not going to let Sinister use him as a puppet anymore. He thought he was helping, but he didn't know that Sinister was going to use his ideas or his technology for genocide, a mass genocide on Genosha. So he was just like, I'm not going to let him use me as a puppet anymore. And he was just about to jump. Rogue catches him. She's like, nah. Can't let you go that easy. You're going to have to tell us where we can find Sinister and where we can find whoever else is behind this, whoever's working with him, so we can shut all this down and everything. He was just like, to be honest, I don't know where he is. I don't have any more information than what I've already told you guys. She was like, well, sucks for you. And dropped him. Not gonna hold you. I busted out laughing at this part because I was just like, one, it was out of Rogue's character to just drop him off the building. It was like, you was gonna jump, but now you finna get dropped. And she drops him off the building. All the X-Men are stunned, like, whoa, what is going on? Cyclops is like, is this who we are now? What just happened? And Wolverine being the cold-hearted dude he is, he was just like, hey man, she did what we all wanted to do for a long time, and that's kill Oliver Trask, because they've been fighting Oliver Trask for a long time, and they all been wanting to get a piece. They all been wanting to get a piece of Oliver Trask and making sure he ends up deceased. But of course, them being X-Men and them being good guys, they were like, nah, we just gonna arrest them and throw them in jail, but he keep getting out and doing the same thing. So he was just like, she did what we all wanted to do for a long time. And then Scott was like, is this who we are now? And then Rogue has a cold monologue where she's just talking about how not only did he attack Genosha, not only did his technology attack Genosha, they killed so many mutants and then took Remy away from her. She was like, that was my man. And then as soon as she said that, she turns and gets snuffed by who I thought was Nimrod. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought it was Nimrod at first, but kind of find out it's actually Oliver Trask. And he's now like this synthetic sentinel where he still looks like Oliver Trask, but you could tell ain't much of Oliver Trask left in that man. Like, that man is all machine at this point for the most part. And man, he snuffed her out and cleaned her clock. He just knocked her smooth out the rest of the fight. And of course, Nightcrawler is like, oh, that's my sister. So he goes, poofs her away. Then we don't see them no more. Then the rest of the X-Men are just like, all right, well, we're going to have to fight this nigga. And the rest of the X-Men are like, all right, we're going to have to fight this dude. And we're going to have to lay hands. So Jean and Scott, before the building is destroyed, they make their way down to the bottom, get the debris, get the people out of the way, and then they start scrapping. And it's the X-Men Beast, Scott, Wolverine. I want to say Jubilee was with him, Morph was with him, and Oliver Trask was just taking them jokers out one by one, piece by piece, and just mutant neutralized. It was just crazy, and he ends up leaving Cyclops for last, and he ends up walking up on Cyclops. Cyclops is on the ground looking up at him, and the next thing you know, you see a grenade roll next to Cyclops, goes off, and shorts Oliver Trask out to the point where he like shuts down. And then Cyclops gets up and is like, yo, what's going on? He turns around. Guess who's standing back there? Good old Cable. But like I said, every time Cable pop up, all hell breaks loose. So Cable pops up, and Jean helps Scott get up. And Scott's like, Cable, what are you doing here? And Cable's like, look, bro, I ain't got time to really explain, but what I just threw was like an EMP grenade. That's the quickest way to deal with these type of Sentinels. And Scott's just like, all right, but what are you doing here though? Jean accidentally reads Cable's mind and realizes that Cable is Nathan Summers. Now we, as the audience, already knew that because he told Madeline Pryor during the attack of Genosha. Scott, however, is just finding out. So he's like, what? Nathan? And he's like, look, bro, I ain't got time for this right now, Dad. We got work we got to do. And it pretty much cuts away from them. And then it goes back to Sinister, and he's talking to somebody. Well, actually, it cuts to the guy that they interrogated. Like I said, I can't remember his name because I never liked this character. It cuts back to him. He's in the hospital from what Rogue did to him, and he's talking to somebody, and the person is just like, yeah, you almost messed up my plans, and then smothers him to death. So now he's dead for real. Next thing we know, it cuts to Sinister. Sinister's talking to this same person. Don't know who this person is. I personally don't know who this person is. But Sinister's talking to him, and now we see that this is the person that Sinister's actually working with /for, and why they set up all these different things to transpire throughout this entire season up until this point. And the dude ends up walking away, and he was like, he shows Sinister the Shi'ar Empire and shows them that Professor X is actually still alive. And Sinister's like, wait, I thought he died. I thought he got killed. And he was like, well, the X-Men are lying to the public at this point, and I've been lying too. I've got a little secret myself. And then it cuts to him walking into this abandoned building and walking up to somebody strapped to a chair. Come to find out, it's Magneto. So now he has Magneto hostage, and he starts shaving him and talking junk. And then the episode cuts to black, and I'm just sitting here like, well, what is happening to my X-Men? What is happening to my X-Men? This episode, episode 7 was fire. And we ain't even get to episode 8 through 10 yet, when the writer said on episode 5 that episode 8 through 10 was when they really started cooking. So if y'all really started cooking at 8 through 10, then why 5 and 7 and 6 have been so good? Like, what are y'all doing to me? What are y'all doing to me? This is an emotional roller coaster watching this season, man. Episode 7 was chef's kiss. It was a good episode, man. It was story driven in the first half, and then just a lot of fast paced action. Man, it was such a good episode. I'm gonna give this episode, because of episode 5, I'm giving episode 7 a 10 out of 10, because it built on the themes that have been laid and set up to episode 5, and then even what happened in episode 6. Episode 7 was just like a big mind warp, mind trick, and I appreciated this episode. Like I loved my rating for this episode has to be a 10 out of 10. This episode was fire. We got a Captain America cameo. We got a Thunderbolt Ross cameo. Man, it was just so many dope scenes, so many dope action pieces, so many mysteries revealed in this episode that raised so many more questions. Now I'm sitting here like, wait, but what about this? But what about that? But what about this? Like, I'm sitting here like, I need to know. But yeah, man, I'm thoroughly enjoying this series. I can't wait to see episode 8 through 10. Man. So that's all I got for this review for episode 7, man. Let me know in the comments if I'm tripping. Let me know if you agree with my rating. Let me know if you were rated higher or lower. I don't know if you can go higher than 10 out of 10, but let me know if you were rated higher or lower. Man, hey, it's free sold to the show free. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. People that are watching my videos, y'all not subscribing to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. We trying to grow this thing, man. Starting from the ground up. We trying to grow this thing, so let's get it.